Hannington, our board chairman, Mr. Sudhir Ruparelia, Mr. Manoj Murli, our MD, my fellow directors and colleagues from Airtel Uganda, the entire press, and all the dignitaries present, all protocols observed. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the launch of the Prospectus of Airtel Uganda. It is a momentous day in the journey of a company which can trace its roots to the launch of the first mobile network in Uganda by Celtel in 1995. And through various journeys and very eventful journey and avatar, it today stands tall as Airtel Uganda as one of the most respected and one of the most contributing members of our of the community community in Uganda. It represents years of hard work and dedication teams to build Airtel Uganda today into one of the consistently profitable and growing companies in Uganda. We built a short video to highlight some of these achievements, and I'll now ask you to play the video here. Naila?
Uncle, you should see London.
Oh, my boy. This has been 5 years. You should see Uganda.
Yes. Uncle Marcus,
Huh?
this is my former school.
Listen, soon there will be more than 1 million children learning like this for free.
This is impressive. Do you even have connection out here?
Well, we have 100% 4G countrywide.
Okay.
We even have 5G too.
That's approximately 700 billion Uganda shillings in tax, making Airtel one of the largest corporate income taxpayers over the last 5 years, helping build a better Uganda.
Today your son saw our new Uganda.
Thank you, Uganda, for imagining it with us and making us the fastest growing telecom in the country over the past 5 years.
p.m. East African Standard Time. We have published on our website a frequently asked questions, or FAQ, which is details on the application process. FAQ in coffee, if there is any coffee person here, means totally different thing. So that's why I spoke in full detail. It is now my honor to invite Mr. Mumba Kalifungwa, the CEO of ABSA Uganda, and Mr. Robert Baldwin of Crested Capital, whose firms have both played a vital role in the IPO process and as valued and trusted advisors to the company. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chairman. I acknowledge the presence of the Executive Director of Uganda Communications Authority, CEO of Capital Markets Authority, Managing Director, Airtel Uganda, distinguished members of the board of Airtel Uganda, Country Management Committee of ABSA Bank Uganda, and must I just say, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good morning to you all. I would like to start by congratulating Airtel Uganda upon achieving this important milestone, resulting from months of tireless effort. At this stage, I'd like to say congratulations to Manoj and your team, including Chairman. Airtel and ABSA share a long-standing relationship in Uganda and other markets around the continent, where the two entities operate. For example, ABSA has had the privilege of being a joint book runner and joint issuing house for the Airtel IPO on the London Stock Exchange and the Nigeria Stock Exchange. We have worked with Airtel on several projects and provided solutions that have contributed to the growth of Airtel as a leading telecommunications provider. Our partnership has also seen ABSA and Airtel collaborate to address societal challenges such as enhancing e-learning, youth employability, and entrepreneurship through various community initiatives that we have partnered on together in the past. ABSA Uganda is honored to be part of this IPO journey in Uganda, offering our financial expertise, advisory, and support as lead transaction advisor. This IPO demonstrates Airtel's commitment to this market by listing and issuing shares to the public and will strengthen equity markets in Uganda. It is a vote of confidence in Uganda's capital markets. I see Keith nodding there. The IPO will attract both domestic and international investors who are interested in owning shares of the company. This influx of capital will help to raise funds for the company's expansion and growth plans, leading to increased investment in Uganda. By investing in Airtel, individual and institutional investors will contribute to wealth creation and develop a broader sense of ownership in the Ugandan economy. At ABSA, we believe that financial markets are vital to Africa's growth, providing an opportunity to tap into domestic capital, but also to better be positioned to access the global capital. The ABSA Africa Financial Markets Index that we release annually facilitates meaningful debate about the maturity and accessibility of Africa's financial markets and records the openness of foreign investment of countries across the continent, including Uganda. I would therefore like to encourage individual and institutional investors to seize the opportunity to invest in Airtel. ABSA is here to be part of the process, and you are welcome to reach us through any of our channels for assistance. We look forward to a successful IPO and commit to providing our expertise to see this through. We are a truly African bank keen on contributing to Africa's growth trajectory, inspired by our purpose of empowering Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time. This IPO is yet another opportunity to showcase our commitment to being an active part of Africa's growth story, as it brings a great opportunity to increase the participation of Ugandans in owning shares in one of the leading telecoms companies in this country. Once again, my heartfelt congratulations to Airtel Uganda, the management and board and team, and we wish you a successful IPO. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention.
Thank you, Mumba. Good morning, everyone. I'm a little bit excited to be here today. Part of that is because I need to start by listing the people who I'm acknowledging, and I wrote that down late. So let me start by acknowledging the MDs of Airtel. Sorry, excuse me. Let me start with the regulators in front of us. The MD of CMA, Keith, Paul Buiso from the USC, and the UCC, the regulator is here. Also the MDs and directors, MD of Airtel, Chairman of Airtel, directors, and MDs of other companies who are here today. So I acknowledge your presence and all protocols observed. Now for my part. Really, thank you all for joining us this morning. I'm Robert Baldwin, the CEO of Crested Capital. Crested Capital are the lead sponsoring brokers to the IPO. And Crested is a Ugandan company, but you may notice that I'm not Ugandan. I'm American, but I've lived here for many years. So look, there are many exciting things about this transaction that are going to be discussed today by other people, not by me. But I'd like to talk about one of the questions that I get frequently when it comes to the Airtel IPO. People ask me, how do I participate? How do I get involved? And the answer I can answer now. Previously, I had to say, wait for the prospectus day, wait for the offer opening. But I can answer now, which is very simple. There are three ways. The first is to read and study the prospectus. The prospectus it's a valuable document with a lot of information about the company, the history. Chairman talked about Airtel. So the history of the business is there. The performance from the financials to the technical prowess of Airtel is also mentioned there. The second way to get involved is to reach out and talk to your stockbroker. I'm very pleased to announce that all 5 licensed stockbrokers are authorized selling agents to this offer. So reach out to them. Yes, thank you, thank you. Reach out to them. You know, brokers, we like to receive phone calls and emails, and we're there to help understand the prospectus, understand the offer, and what the investments mean. And finally, if you don't want to talk to stockbrokers, you can do it yourself. This is an EIPO. So the EIPO allows investors to participate using your Airtel line, to apply for shares using your phone, and another method is through the USC Easy Portal online. You can participate and apply for shares that way. So really, it's a very practical thing. Go to the prospectus, read that, and you'll get all the details that you need. So thank you all very much for coming, and I believe the next speaker will come up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our speakers. I now take this opportunity to invite the captain, Mr. Manoj Mlali, This is your business. We are delighted to hear from you about the business and why now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mumba and Robert. We have valued your counsel throughout this process, and I'm delighted that you have joined us here today to mark this important occasion to which your firms have made such a substantial contribution. Thank you to both of you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and let me also extend a warm welcome to all of you. Today is an exciting day for Airtel Uganda. Let me tell you about the business today and its origins. Airtel Uganda has offered mobile telecommunication services in Uganda since 1995. We are currently the co-leader in the market with 49% revenue market share and 47.3% subscriber market share respectively. The company has 13.8 million active subscribers on a 30-day REC basis across 146 districts of Uganda. Airtel Uganda is part of the Airtel Africa group, which in turn is part of the Bharti Airtel family. This makes us a key part of a Pan-African business which operates across 14 countries in Africa, comprising over 140 million subscribers, and which has a market capitalization of $5.5 billion on the London Stock Exchange. It also means that we benefit from the skills and capabilities within the Bharti Airtel group, the second largest telecommunication operator globally, that has 518 million subscribers and a market capitalization of over $64.3 billion. Today, Airtel Uganda has established itself as the most innovative cellular mobile network operator by introducing many firsts in the Ugandan telecommunications market. We have a modern countrywide network with leading technologies. We launched Uganda's first 5G network this month with 50 sites covering Kampala CBD and surrounding areas. We are the #1 network with 100% 4G across Uganda since 2019. We are recognized as Uganda's fastest mobile network at the Mobile World Congress based on the speed test by Ookla. Moreover, we are performing very well. For the year ended 31 December 2022, Airtel Uganda had revenues, EBITDA and net income of 1.594 billion, 1,594 billion shillings, 868 billion shillings and 326 billion shillings respectively. I just want to inform you here that these are only the numbers of the GSM business that we are listing here today. The scale and progression of Airtel Uganda's growth and the exciting prospects for the Ugandan economy have set the stage for this IPO, the completion of which will fulfill the requirement that the company list on the USE by the end of this year. The initial public offer or IPO will see up to 8 billion existing ordinary shares of the company, representing up to 20% of the company made available, and the value of this will be 800 billion. The size of the offering is in keeping and a demonstration of our commitment for supporting the development of the Ugandan stock markets. Importantly, the IPO gives preference to Ugandan investors, including the company's customers, own a share in the story. This is very much in line with one of our core values of customer centricity. Finally, this IPO will enhance Air profile across the continent. It's now my great privilege to introduce our spoke earlier. So I would end here. I think there was a change in schedule. Chairman had to go early. So I would like to thank you all for coming here and participating in this event. You will see more details of our IPO in the prospectus that will come through. I would like to warmly welcome Mr. Sudhir Ruparelia for coming here. Thank you.
On the beat.
Thank you, Mr. Manoj. If you have G, you should now in this check. Yes, that's the future of the company. We can't do this without regulators. Today we add another regulator, and the compliance would like now to invite Mr. Keith Kalijira, our new regulator. Let's hear from him the new terms. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. All protocol observed. It's a great occasion for me to stand before you to just share some of my thoughts about what's been going on over the past several months leading up to this day. So we're here to witness a significant development in Uganda's capital markets. The IPO of Airtel is a major milestone for the company and for the country as a whole, with 20% of its shares being issued. I was just doing the sums before I walked up here, and I was thinking that currently the total market capitalization, 2 trillion shillings. That's about $1.9 billion. When I joined the Capital Markets Authority about 10 years ago, it was about 3 trillion, 3.3. So because it increases the market capitalization from 7.2 to about 11.2. Now that Manoj has mentioned the figures, I can go ahead and delve into them a little bit longer. So this means that we've crossed the 10 trillion mark for the first time in our history. Airtel Uganda has consistently stood out as one of the leading contributors to our nation's revenue, with its impact spanning diverse sectors. The company has over 14.3 million subscribers with a countrywide network of over 146 districts. So we're delighted to acknowledge Airtel Uganda's decision to extend an opportunity for others to partake in its journey of achievement by offering shares to the public and eventually listing on the Uganda Securities Exchange after 6 weeks. This will bring the total number of companies listed to 11 after the issuance of the 8 billion shares. I think it's a significant opportunity for Ugandans to invest in a leading company and to contribute to the development of Uganda's capital markets. I want to pause at this point and just say that I've been asked this question several times, that why aren't there more companies listing on the USE? And I want to say it now that please don't ask me that question again. That question should be directed to Mr. Paul Buiso, I think, who's going to be speaking after me. That's his primary business, to get companies listed on the stock exchange. It's not the regulator's business. So journalists, please refrain from asking me that question again. So the prospectus for Airtel Uganda is in line with the National Telecom NTO license obligations under the UCC and the 2018 National Broadband Policy. So please allow me to extend our sincere appreciation to the Uganda Communications Commission, as well as Airtel, for aligning with the government's vision as articulated in the National Broadband Policy of 2018. Being publicly listed ushers in very many advantages: brand loyalty, customer loyalty, employee loyalty. It's always proud to be, for you to be part of a listed company, even for the subscribers. Those who I think you have subscribed in this, your commitment to your service provider, I think of being listed. And for potential investors, even minority shareholders, direct dividends can be reaped, performs well, as profitability is intrinsically linked. It's such a pleasure to read the Airtel prospectus, I must say. It's a large document, 326 pages, about 100 is the accountant's report, but just has so much information in it about the performance, the dividend history, what the company has done, all the different identities the company has had since over the past several years. I recall 1995, when I was still working for Shell, I had one of the first mobile phone numbers to such a status symbol to hold a Celtel phone number. I think my number was 70820000, because that was the PO box of Shell.
where I was working, 7082. So I was one of the first few to hold. It was such a status symbol. And there was a joke told about somebody who walked into a banking hall talking on his phone, and then the phone rang. That's how we all viewed, holding mobile phones. So it's indeed a rich history. So becoming a shareholder offers an alternative route for investments. I think Mr. Baldwin has spoken about how to invest, so I won't talk about that. So as we march forward, our expectations are fixed upon Airtel Uganda's unwavering commitment to maintaining the highest standards of corporate governance. These practices form the bedrock of shareholder confidence and accentuate the positive perception of the company's management. So as Airtel transitions into a public company, the mantle of responsibility extends to cater to an increased shareholder base. And as a regulator, we expect you to continue operating with the highest standards of corporate governance. I'm unwaveringly confident that the present and future boards of the company will uphold this responsibility with utmost dedication. Now, a little bit about corporate governance. I've had many stories about the view that corporate governance is an inconvenience, it's costly, but we want to think about it a little bit differently. When an investor is committing funds to a company, all they have to rely on is the credibility of the company's management, the company's board. There have been studies down in South America where when the Capital Markets Authority equivalent of Brazil and the stock exchange increased their requirements for listed companies, raised the bar in terms of corporate governance, they saw much more interest from the pension funds and other institutional investors in participating in listed companies. So there's a strong and direct correlation between high corporate governance standards and the value of a company. And the reverse is true. If a company's corporate governance standards are quite low, investors price in this, this ease of getting access to public markets. So I want to really encourage businesses out there, that's not a cost. Please view corporate governance as an investment. It helps to enhance your value, whether you're going to be trying to raise money from the public markets or the private markets. We're going through a tough time as a world, post-COVID, the Ukraine war. We're seeing interest rates rising in the US. A lot of capital is leaving emerging markets, going to the more developed markets that are trying to control inflation by rising interest rates and keeping them high. We don't know how long this is going to last. But so far, I think our currency has really withstood all these shocks that are being experienced by our neighbors, by Ghanaians, Zambians. We're seeing it all over. So I think we have to really thank our Ministry of Finance, Central Bank, for doing all that they could do to maintain our currency at where it is right now. Thank you. So such endeavors serve to raise capital and fuel the expansion of enterprises. Public offerings in particular offer a more liquid route for existing shareholders, creating opportunities for fresh investments. In conclusion, I want to acknowledge the heartening embrace of Airtel Uganda towards sharing their success with the rest of Ugandans. This progressive stride bodes well for the road ahead in the realm of capital markets. So thank you for taking the mantle, and we hope to see many more entities follow Airtel Uganda's footsteps. Thank you very much.
The young people would say he has thrown Paul under the bus, even when there's no bus. Paul, there's no bus. For people who, like me, decided to stay away from actuarial sciences, this is the day, remember, you should have done it. But I have grilled off a few things for you, the numbers. There are three key numbers I have gotten out of the speakers that have so far spoken. And while you were busy tabulating your Mau Mau rebellion, your Chinchitire Ngware, those historians, your day is coming, because today we are making history. So you are not left out. The numbers are 8, 11, and 11.2. So whoever can ascribe a description of those numbers we have a surprise gift for you before you leave. So I'll be seated close by. It is 8. David, are you one of them? David Kawa. Are you the numbers guy? It is 11. It is 11.2. So it is 8 billion, 11 listed companies, 11.2 trillion market capitalization. Please, those are big milestones, and I think we should clap for them. And that lifts some weight off Paul. So I would like to invite Paul to come and give us another number that I will remember. Thank you. That's 8, 11, and 11.2.
It's always difficult to speak after Keith, and he usually says that it's also difficult to speak after me. So I'll do my best to cut out what he's already said and speak to a few issues that I might add to the board, management, and staff of Airtel Uganda, the regulators, or my regulator Keith, and the team from CMA, the management of UCC, the ED, the ABSA and Crested Capital team. Ladies and gentlemen, CMA is our regulator, and so we are required to get our licenses from them. I'll speak to a little bit to the Uganda Securities Exchange so that those in the room that don't know much about us can learn one or two things. We've been in business since 1997, got our first license from CMA in 1998. We currently have 18 listed stocks on the exchange, 10 are local companies, and 8 are cross-listed out of the Kenyan market. Our current market capitalization, and we've got some indices that are tracked on the exchange. We've got the all share index and the local share index. And these are some of the numbers Keith spoke to. Currently, the all share index market capitalization stands at 16.6 trillion, while the local market capitalization stands at 7.2, as correctly stated. And that was at the end of trading yesterday. We've got 5 stockbrokers licensed by CMA and admitted by ourselves. And we've got 5 custodian banks. For those who do not know, custodian banks are members of the exchange that act on behalf of their investors who want to keep their shares and holdings separate from the stockbrokers' accounts. As mentioned, this is a new opportunity for investment exchange. IPOs are always looked in Uganda with mixed feelings, majorly because some have performed very well, others have had challenges, others have performed well, but in terms of secondary market trading, have not reacted to price as many people do expect. So what is there in an IPO for investors to look out for? I think if you looked at the different investment opportunities in Uganda, you can look at the money markets, where you can deal with money markets, the treasury bills, the umbrella trust funds among the different avenues. There are the government bonds, the different tenors from 5-year all the way to 20-year. And then there are the equities. The equities have actually performed interestingly well post-COVID, despite all the challenges we've seen, the geopolitics, high interest rates, better returns in the government bond market and the fixed income market generally. They've reacted to the positive trends we've seen in the economy. The prediction of growing at 6 to 6.5% GDP the rebound of investment. We've seen all companies report profits. That was at the end of December 2022. And we've also seen, some of these companies react to these investment opportunities of the earnings in dividends. Some counters have grown but as high as 155% this year. We've seen another 34%. And some dividend yields have been as high as 14%, 11%. And this is quite competitive with the government bond market. Last year was exceptional with high interest rates. We saw the 20-year bond go at about 18.5%, among others. But the markets work. I know a lot of people believe they don't, but you need to learn where the opportunities are. And dividends, growth of companies are really some of the key areas to look at in terms of investments. The sectors we've got at the stock exchange include the banking and finance, the telecom sector. Now we'll have a second company at the listing in October. But if you look at East Africa as a whole, those will be 5 telecom companies listed on the various stock exchanges. So there's a comparative array of assets to compare to in terms of investment, and for you to make an investment decision on which company to invest in and what their different strategies are. As mentioned, coming to the market is not an easy feat. There's a lot of work that is done, and I would like to specifically thank my team. There's a review team, Anthony, Isaac, Patience, and the rest of the USC team that specifically held this 300-page document and the review of the full data site that had numerous documents to ensure that the prospectus met the listing requirements, but also followed all the legal requirements in terms of laws, regulations, among others. I thank you for that commitment, but also to our listing committee board, board listing committee that reviewed this application and gave an approval to Airtel to proceed with the listing and the IPO. I'd like to thank you for your input. So I saw that, a reason to imagine. Imagine today you had to walk to URSB. You had an idea. You want to set up a company. URSB, go to the one-stop center, deal with all the paperwork, go to the bank, look for capital, have to employ people. You go through the nitty-gritties of trying to set up a company and then run the business. Well, that is one way of investing or looking at the future. But here we have a company. They say money can work for you. You've got a management, growth story, you've got all the history that has been put together, the numbers have been shared, and there's a prospectus for you to analyze. So as you go to the one-stop center, get that idea, I think it's worth looking at this idea of investing in this IPO. As the exchange, to read the prospectus, look out for the nitty-gritties that are required, look at the research notes from the stockbrokers and research analysts, read the document. But if you're not able to, there's an abridged version for those, but take advice from the qualified specialists, but also make an informed decision as an individual. Look at how the investment is going to grow in the long run, medium term, what is the story, the strategy, among others. So, Keith spoke to the policy behind this. I will not speak to that, the reasons why we are here, among others. But I'll speak to a few channels that the exchange got. We have put in place the required technology for investors to access the market. As mentioned, there's the MIPO solution. There's also the Easy Portal. You can download this from Google Play Store and follow the prompts. And it's been made as easy as possible to participate in an IPO, as we saw in the previous IPO 2 years back. With that, I'll just make one clarity. The company is listing 40 billion shares on the exchange and offering 20% to the public. With that, I wish you all the best and consider investing in the capital markets and in this opportunity that has come by. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. You've gifted me some new numbers to remember. I'll go with the last one. The company is listing 40 billion and 20% of that, which is 8 billion, to the public. The other numbers are 5 and 5. 5 licensed stockbrokers, 5 licensed custodial funds. Please clap for him. So we have 5, 5, 8, 11, and 11.2. Those are numbers to remember. Thank you so much. I would like to inform our MD, you've been joined by representation from first, ABSA. Can I hear a clap, big clap for the ABSA team? Wait. We have also been joined by a big team from Quested Capital. You've been joined by another big team from Stanbic Bank, Equity Bank, DFCU Bank. I see CATS. They call themselves the Land Friends. We also went to school, my dear. I also see a team from Chipakash. Mr. Manoj, you've been joined by a cross-section of media houses, our partners. They are right behind there on the cameras. Please, let's clap for them. They carry the message. Mr. Manoj and your partners, the proceedings of this event are also being broadcast live on our YouTube channel and other social media channels that don't include Facebook. That was mine. I see he has given me a tough eye, but yes, we are not on Facebook. I did that on purpose because I was going to invite our regulator, Ms. Susan Wegoye. You're most welcome. She's going to give the remarks. You can leave the Facebook bit. It's okay. And after that, I will again invite our managing director to give us the call to action. Susan, you're most welcome.
The Chairman, Board of Directors of Airtel, Mr. Hannington Karuhanga, the Chief Executive Officer, the Capital Markets Authority, Mr. Keith Kaliejira, the Chief Executive Officer of the Uganda Securities Exchange, Mr. Paul Bwiso, the representative of Bank of Uganda, Mr. Charles Sabuka, the Managing Director, Airtel Uganda Limited, Mr. Manoj, and the leadership team of Airtel. Key stakeholders present, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I bring you greetings from the Uganda Communications Commission and from the Acting Executive Director, Engineer Irene Kagwa, who was not able to make it today. It is indeed my honor and pleasure to be here today to participate in a very momentous occasion for Airtel Uganda. Airtel, as we all know, has grown its business over the years to become one of the key players in the sector. In the year 2019-2020, the Uganda Communications Commission, together with other key stakeholders, the Capital Markets Authority, the Ministry of ICT, did consider ways in which we could get Ugandans to participate in the telecom sector, which is one of the sectors that is growing by leaps and bounds. And arising out of that, we did make provision for the listing of the 20% requirements as a license requirement for one of the key license categories, the National Telecommunications Operator License. And Airtel is one of the pioneers holding this license. We all know by now that this is considered one of the prime licenses in the sector. Airtel paid approximately 70 million US dollars for this license. And this money went to the treasury. We can clap for that, I think. And also, this license is for a period of 20 years renewable. So it is a good license to invest in. I think it's a good business for any Ugandan to invest in. For this license, you can do everything. It's a composite license. You can do voice, you can do data, you can do infrastructure, you can do value-added services. So it's a prime license, and I think that it's a good one for anyone to consider investing in. And then in respect of Airtel Uganda, we can confirm that Airtel is a decent corporate person. It is also a compliant operator. I'm not telling Airtel, I'm just telling the things that I know as a regulator. Yeah, I see Mr. Mano is very happy. So we also know that previously, maybe connectivity was an option, but as we speak today, we know that connectivity is now defined as a basic human right. The same way that you have food, you have clothing, you have shelter, you must have connectivity. And this also is reflected in the national documents that we have. For example, the National Broadband Policy of 2018, the National Development Plan 3, NDP 3, and also the PDM. So we find that as a country, connectivity will only keep getting relevant by the day. Everything that we know of today rides on the back of connectivity. Previously, for example, there was a clear de-link between different services, but you find that now all the services are merged together. For example, whereas we do not regulate mobile money, we all know, with due respect to the financial sector with which we are getting fused, that we have lots of money moving on the telecommunications platforms every day. And so because of that, we have the same strict level of security that you have within the financial sector. We see that going forward, the telecommunications sector will continue to play a key role within the national development agenda. And as one of the key players, we would want to congratulate Airtel for the milestones that it has achieved, and specifically for this day, which we have also looked forward to and planned together with them. So congratulations to Airtel and the team. We wish you well.
Thank you so much, Susan. We are delighted to have those remarks. I now would like to invite our Managing Director to come and give us the call to action. And then we go to the market. Thank you.
I would request my colleague Amit to join me to get into detail of how the application process and everything is. But let me thank our regulator UCC and the Telecom Ministry for their unwavering support for Uganda's telecom sector and Airtel Uganda in particular. Without the support and counsel of the ministry and colleagues, little of what we have done in the industry would have been possible. I would like to welcome the Permanent Secretary of Telecom, who's come just in time to address us and grace the occasion. Warm welcome, Madam. You have now heard the prospects of this great company, Airtel Uganda Limited. And Amit, my colleague here, will give details about how the share process and the steps are. But I would like to now take this occasion to thank the regulator CMA, Keith, and our listing partner, the Uganda Stock Exchange, and Paul, who has come here, the MD of APSA Bank, Mumba, the CEO of Crested Capital, Robert, and all the investors, my colleagues, my exco, all my directors who are present in this room, the media, and investment prospective investors who are in this room. And thank you all for coming here and gracing this occasion. Special mention to Mr. Sudhir, who has come here to grace this occasion. And before I ask Amit to take us through the steps, I would warmly welcome and request the Permanent Secretary of Telecom to please come and address the gathering.
The Chairman, Board of Directors for Airtel Uganda, Mr. Hannington Karuhanga. The CEO, Capital Markets Authority, Mr. Keith Karijira. The CEO, Uganda Securities Exchange, our representatives or representative of Uganda Communications Commission, representatives of Bank of Uganda present, the Managing Director, Airtel Uganda, Mr. Manoj Morali, our distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, as well as the press, good morning to you all. It has been quite an ambush for me to just walk in and called on the podium. Apologies for the late coming, but I am standing here to represent my minister, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, who was supposed to be the guest of honor today. However, he lost a relative last evening and he's gone for burial in Kanungu, but he sends his regards and congratulations. So I'm going to give this speech verbatim as he would have given it. And along the way, of course, I'll chip in what the technical conversation has to be by the PS. It is truly an honor to stand here before you today as we gather to mark a significant milestone in the telecommunications sector and the broader realm of information communications technology. In this sector, we also take note of the fact that communication and national guidance play a key role in guiding our nation. As the Minister for ICT and National Guidance, remember I said I'm saying this verbatim, I am deeply humbled to be the guest of honor on this auspicious day. Our ministry stands as the guardian of progress, innovation, and connectivity in Uganda. And it is a privilege to witness the convergence of these ideals here today. The establishment of the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance marked a turning point in our nation's journey towards technological advancement and social transformation. Our mandate is clear: to provide strategic and technical leadership, coordinate policy, advocate for regulations, and steer the course of the ICT sector towards sustainable development. We envision a knowledgeable and productive society, one empowered by information, communications technology, and our shared national ideology. Last week, the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance launched the Digital Transformation Roadmap that is going to steer the direction in which this country should transform for the next 5 years in digital transformation. And this 5-year roadmap has 5 pillars that are really aligned to what some of the reasons we're here for today. There are 5 pillars, namely the infrastructure and connectivity pillar, because we are looking at ensuring that we have connectivity for this whole country and leave no one behind in the process. The second pillar is digital services, for ensuring that we get services online and operate efficiently as a government, as well as a country. The third pillar is cybersecurity and data protection and privacy. As we do and transact businesses online, we have to ensure that we are doing it in a secure environment and one that is trusted. The fourth pillar is skilling. It is critical for us to have, the skill sets and talent that have to run the services, or that have to expand the infrastructure and connectivity, as well as spearhead the digital transformation program. And then lastly, the fifth pillar is innovation and entrepreneurship. We know we have one of the youngest populations in the world. And with over 30 million people below the age of 30, with a lot of potential and capacity to grow and nurture a lot of innovations to commercial scale, and also create employment opportunities in the process. So today, as we gather here to witness the launch of the IPO prospectus for Airtel Uganda, we are reminded of the intricate dance between private sector dynamism and public sector stewardship. So our role as government is to, give you the direction, and the role of the private sector is to implement. As government, we cannot do this alone. That is why we are here today, to emphasize the synergy and collaboration that we have together. Airtel Uganda, a key player in our telecommunication landscape, has been pivotal in driving connectivity and innovation across the nation. So you see, even the pillars that I have talked to, Airtel is largely contributing to these pillars in the process. Yes, and a round of applause is deserved. Let's have a stronger round of applause for Airtel. Its steadfast commitment to delivering cutting-edge technologies, expanding network coverage, and cultivating a customer-centric approach has had a transformative impact on our society. This IPO marks a moment of unity where public and private interest coverage for the betterment of our nation are very key. As we embrace this new chapter, we must recognize the significance of collaborative efforts. Our ministry has worked tirelessly to ensure effective communication of government policies and programs to promote national ideology and to extend the reach of ICT infrastructure and services across the length and breadth of Uganda. I think I will give you my personal experience with Airtel. Of course, we know Airtel has evolved over the years, but it has still maintained the red color. With the various, we moved from, I don't remember whether Celtel was red, but Warid red, now Airtel red. We have maintained the red, and usually red is blood and unity, I imagine. I'm yet to know why we have maintained that color, but today you find that a number of people, of course, have two lines, but it's two lines for a reason, to complement each other, and that is how we are supposed to move as a country. So ladies and gentlemen, this gathering serves as a testament to the progress we have made, and it propels us forward toward a future of even greater promise. It is a demonstration of how public policy, regulatory frameworks, and industry innovation can harmoniously coexist to fuel socio-economic growth. I commend the board of directors of Airtel, the leadership of Airtel Uganda, and all stakeholders involved for their unwavering dedication to this endeavor. Your commitment to transparent and responsible business practices not only benefits your enterprise, but also contributes to the holistic development of our nation. So as we embark on this exciting journey of the IPO, let us remember that it is not just about financial investments, but it is about investing in the future of this country. By participating in this IPO, investors become stakeholders in the growth story of Airtel Uganda, which in turn aligns with our ministry's mission to drive social and economic transformation through ICT, communications, and national ideology. And now, ladies and gentlemen, comes a moment that encapsulates the culmination of collaboration and foresight. The unveiling of the share price for Airtel Uganda's IPO today. To do this, we will employ a visual countdown. Now, this is an instruction I am reading. We shall employ a visual countdown timer that will grace our screens, counting down the seconds until the much-awaited reveal. I hope this is not done yet. Given that I was late, you never know, I might be reading history. But that is what I envision is going to happen. So I invite you all to direct your attention to the screens as we embark on this thrilling countdown. The countdown symbolizes not just numbers, but the potential, the dreams, and the aspirations that lie within these figures. With each passing second, we inch closer to uncovering the value that this IPO holds for Ugandan investors, for Airtel Uganda, and for our nation's progress. So as the numbers materialize on the screens before us, may they serve as a reflection of the collaborative efforts, the innovative spirit, the shared vision that have brought us to this important point. Let this moment inspire all of us to continue investing in Uganda's future, a future where connectivity and progress know no bounds. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let the countdown begin. So thank you everyone for sharing in this very exciting moment for this country. The revealed shared price symbolizes more than just a number. It represents the collective potential and the boundless opportunities that lie ahead. May this moment of revelation inspire us all to be active participants in shaping the future of Uganda's telecommunication landscape. And at one opportune time, I will declare what my contribution will be to this. I thank you. And congratulations once again, Airtel Uganda.
onto the stage for one simple assignment. I'd like to invite Mr. Manoj and your partners in this transaction to join our PS, and I'll give a copy of the prospectus, Robert, Samira, Mr. Mumba, Sim. Doctor, where you are not, we are going through the numbers, but you've added us another number, which is 100. And Suzanne? Thank you so much. Oh, give me another copy. Dr. Sudhir? Dr. Sudhir, please join in. I'm bringing a copy. Kindly extend this side. Paul. Keith, I can't leave you standing. Bring the copy. Kindly extend this side for history. In the books, there are numbers, but we are making history with this picture. This document is also available, or is going to be available right after this event on our website at airtel.co.ug/IPO. So take your time. You just need a few MBs to. It's actually free. You can download it even without MBs on your phone. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I now would like to invite our Chief Commercial Officer, Mr. Meet Kapoor, to take us through the USSD of how are you going to open an SCD account and buy the shares. Thank you so much.
Hello? Yeah. Okay. So now we have heard about the prospects of the company. We have seen the prospectus. We've seen the fantastic pricing of Uganda 100 shilling. So now how do we apply? So first step, for anyone to apply, you need to have a Securities Central Depository account. When you are applying, you need to quote that Securities Central Depository account and then apply for the shares. Now, if you're a first-time investor, which a lot of us are likely to be, then you can go to *185 *85# on Airtel Money, enter your NIN, select the option 1, which is apply for SCD account, enter your valid national identity number, follow the prompts and open your account. Once you have opened your account, then you can again go to *185 *85#, select option 2, that is choose Airtel IPO purchase. Then you enter your valid national identification number, input your number of shares that you want to apply for, and then you select the broker through whom you are applying for. After that, you put in your PIN, the Airtel Money PIN, to confirm your application. It's a very simple process. You can do it completely online. For anyone who already has an existing SCD account, which is your Securities depository account. If you have not linked it with your national ID, please contact your broker and have it linked to your national ID. Thank you. Happy investing.
Thank you so much. We have come to the formal end of today's engagement. Take a minute to say hello to your neighbor. I asked my colleagues from Airtel, this function has not been successful without the input of a cross-section of partners from Airtel, Hudson and Sandler, Quested Capital, and wherever you are, Airtel team, the behind-the-scenes team. I happen to be a lucky one. I play both behind and in front. So the behind-the-scenes team is still behind. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for the work you have done. I'd like to ask Mr. Manoj politely, this is after the function, please, could you introduce your leadership team? We didn't get a chance to. Even when I asked to break them up so that they sit next to other people, they still refused. They'll buy me a drink.
I can see my leadership team smiling at me. Let me start with no particular order. Dennis, who's our legal and regulatory director, can you please stand up? I have Ali Balunyawa, who's my sales director. Brendan, can you please stand up? My sales director for growth markets. Dennis Kahindi, who has just joined us, our director for home broadband. Rajesh, who is our network director. Nishant, who is my finance director. Michael, who is my supply chain director. Flavia, who is my human resource director. Chafet Arito, who is our managing director for Airtel Money. Amit Kapoor, who is my chief commercial officer. Donald, where are you? Donald, who is my IT director. Alan, who is my enterprise director. I hope I haven't missed. Henry, where is Henry? Henry, who is my marketing director. Okay, so this is my team who works with me in the Exco to run Airtel Uganda and take Airtel Uganda to greater heights. Thank you all. I would also like to introduce, because I think David, main intention was that, David Biringi, my head of PR. David, just wave to the crowd. Noila, my head of brand. I have Caroline, who is the head of retail. Tony Musisi, who is my distribution head. I have Mike Mohanji, who is my acting director for customer service. I hope I haven't missed anyone else. Sorry guys if I have missed. Thank you. David, is that okay? That's okay. Thank you.
If you haven't had something to eat or drink, please, the warmers are still out there. We're a blessed country. We have 5G. We also have good food. Thank you. Thank you. So I'd like to invite the production to give us something.
Uncle, you should see London.
Oh, my boy. This has been 5 years. You should see Uganda.
Yes. Uncle Marcus, huh? This is my former school.
See, soon there will be more than 1 million children learning like this for free.
This is impressive. Do you even have connection out here?
Now we have 100% 4G countrywide.
Okay.
We even have 5G too.
That's approximately 700 billion Uganda shillings in tax, making Airtel one of the largest corporate income taxpayers over the last 5 years, helping build a better Uganda.
Today your son saw our new Uganda.
Thank you, Uganda, for imagining it with us and making us the fastest growing telecom in the country over the past 5 years.